Greetings and welcome to Georgian Crossroads. This is Byrne Power, your host from Tbilisi, Georgia. I've been living here for a while. I have been living in Alaska and somehow I ended up in Georgia. That's a long story. Maybe if you're really good, I'll give it to you someday. But meanwhile, what we're going to do now is continue our trek into the Caucasus. Last we saw, I was on a road that was kind of perilous. You just wouldn't want to drive off it because you would end up way down in the middle of nowhere in a gully, a ditch, ravine. And we were just about to get to Juta. So today what we're going to do is start at Juta and do a little hiking from there and just pondering the meaning of the hills and the mountains. Come with me.
So, as you last recall from my last video on the road to Juta, which I highly recommend you go back and watch all the videos in the series. You'll enjoy it. We were just about at the gates of Juta, so to speak, which has a feeling like that because when you arrive, there is a bridge across, and on that bridge you look off and there's this kind of hotel, cafe thing set up there, but on these great rocks. And so the water comes through, and it's just a nice place to stop and wander. And if you turn around, you'll get a different view looking back down the valley. And it's pretty great. So I highly recommend when you first get there, stop and look. Go to that bridge, go look over it, and then you can start walking up the hill. Now this is the cafe and hotel complex that's there. The small stream runs through it, although it's almost like a river. Runs through it, and I suppose in a real season, not this one, you'd be able to book a room there or stop and eat something. Meanwhile, though, you can start walking up past the hotel and visitor area here. There's kind of a strange pool there. And see what happens. Now, one of the things you will notice as you follow me on this tour as I leave the main part of the village, and there's more of the village up on the hill behind me, is you'll hear, at some point I decide to give you direct kind of my own musings as I'm walking, and you'll hear me out of breath, because you have to remember, while this looks like a straight road, it is not. You are also close to 7,500 feet here. So you're up in the air, and it feels pretty rarefied, the air, and you're constantly moving up. Now, at one point I stopped, again, this was July 1st, and looked in this little puddle, little ditch on the side of the road, and I saw all these toad tadpoles swimming around, which I thought was a pretty cool thing. So there's my wildlife experience for the day. You can find wildlife if you get up into the mountains, or there's other areas of Georgia that have more forests and such. This is more of a cattle grazing zone. But anyway, let's continue.
I think the reason why this dirt road behind Juta captivates me so much is because it's a fairly perfect road. No, it's not paved. It is designed pretty well. There's no big potholes, but it's not that. It's that It's like life. I'm surrounded by green hills, well, mountains, and then up ahead are very tall, imposing mountains. And there are, looks like cows on a meadow way up there. Well, it seems beautiful and sunny right now, and it is. But behind me, those are thunder clouds. And it's supposed to get thundery this afternoon, lightning and thunder. And if you know anything about thunderstorms in the Caucasus, you know they're nothing to trifle with. And sometimes the rain can be so hard. And those are pretty tall clouds. We're up about 7,000, almost 8,000 feet up here on this road. It's an absolutely spectacular road. And it's just an amazing day. There was not a cloud in the sky earlier. But now the clouds are coming in and you can feel them. At any moment, the sun is going to be blotted out by one of these clouds. I can feel it. You can see the shadows off in the distance there. And they're growing. And pretty soon there won't be any green hills. They'll all be under the shadows. But I love this. This road just goes on and on. Let me show you something. This is what's up ahead, and it's absolutely spectacular, and I just keep getting called to go further and further. I'm going to go a bit further. I want to just look around the corner. I want to keep going that way, but like I say, these thunderclouds have other plans for me, so I may want to get back before absolutely serious, gully washing rain shows up. So I do have a plastic bag for my camera, so I was thinking ahead, as you should. But this is a place, if you want to come to Georgia and just get away, there are hiking expeditions that go up and over those mountains. They take days. And there are people who will lead those expeditions starting back in Juta. But you don't need to do that to get the feel of this. To me, it's the valley that's so majestic, so mysterious. The Caucasus are really the bedrock, the home soil of the Georgians. All the conquerors come and they take over all the areas in the lowlands, but up in the highlands, they have a lot more trouble getting here, and yet there are people who live here year-round. This is what life's about. A little dirt road behind Juta going into... Eventually it comes to a stop and you have to choose to go up. And I hear that trail. It takes a few days. Because it's not as easy as this road. But then again, this road has its own problems. They're different, though. And what's amazing is this valley just goes on. And I just want to see around the next turn, into the next gorge, up the next valley. It's a perfect road.
So I got up to as far as I could go. It may seem like I've just walked a little ways, but it's taken me an hour and a half to get this far on this road. It's a long road, and I didn't get much further. Every now and then a car would go by. So it wasn't completely without traffic, but when I say every now and then, I mean once every once every half hour, maybe. So, but this was a great little stream I stopped at on the way back. I'm walking back down now. It's about I think I did this in about a 3.5 hour round trip. And the deception here is these valleys are so long that you think, oh, I'll just get up to there. But it takes forever to get to the end of the valleys. So I got back in my car and decided to drive out. And you'll see there's a big truck that I almost ran into. It's a military truck, actually. And the reason it's a military truck is because you're not far from, I believe, the English or Chechen border up in the back of that valley. So, not that you can just drive into it, but they keep a military presence there. So, what we're going to do now, as I promised, we're going to drive down the hill. And now you'll get a chance to see what I couldn't show you on the way up because of my bad focus. And I've sped up the camera a bit.
that was pretty cool, you gotta admit. Thanks for coming. And by the way, once this whole pandemic thing is done, what you really should do is you should think about how to get to Georgia and why you should come here. It's a fascinating culture and just absolutely amazing scenery, and there's more geographic diversity here than in a great many larger countries. So anyway, this is Byrne saying Nahuamdis, that's goodbye. I'll see you very soon, or maybe you'll see me.